Hi everyone, this is Luxtos, and today I'm bringing you another Diablo 4 video guide. Today we're going to be doing a leveling guide 1 to 50 for the Bone Spear Necromancer. So if you don't want to have a massive army following you, maybe just one golem hanging out, and you want to level with Bone Spell, you like Bone Spear, you like seeing big crit damage, well, this is going to be the build for you. This is going to be really fun and probably one of the most effective leveling build and even endgame build that you're going to be able to transition in later. This is going to be a really strong build. So without any delay, we're just going to get started here. We got the gear that we're going to cover a little bit later, but we're going to start with the skill tree. So with the skill tree here, I'm going to show you like a quick overview of everything that you're going to end up picking up right here, right? So this is going to be the build. So you're going to be laying with Bone Storm, Decrepify. It's going to be really fun. Some Corpse Explosion, some Bone Spear. It's going to be really good. Instead of just showing you this and telling you good luck, I'm going to show you how to build it point by point so that you have something to follow along. There's going to be, I have my notes on the side here for every single point. And I'm going to be sharing it so you know where to put your points as you level. This is not 100% perfect in any way, shape, or form. These are just suggestion based on my personal play style and how I like to play. So all of the points are just going for either a little bit more survivability or more damage done in certain areas when I need it. So to start things off, we're going to go with Bone Splinter. Really good generator. It gives you crit. It's really good. It got nerfed recently. It doesn't do that much damage, but it's still a fun generator. It goes pretty fast, so you're able to shoot and move really fast across the map, so that's really good. We're going to go with Enhance Bone Splinter, which is going to make the projectile split and do more damage. So that's going to be really good. It only works if you have more than 50 essence, right? So it casts an additional projectile. That's pretty cool. We're not going to put a point here. We're going to go into Bone Spear next right here because that's going to be our main damage dealer. And we're going to go into Enhanced Bone Spear. And we're going to go straight away into Supernatural Bone Spear. So this one is going to make it have the 3 shard breaking when it is destroyed. So when it reaches the end of its path, or if it collides with a wall, it's going to break in 3 shard and then come back. And it's going to do additional damage. This is really good. And then Supernatural is just going to give you infinite vulnerability on bosses and the first target that you hit. So that's going to be absolutely insane. This is really good. And then you're going to go finish off into Initiate Bone Spear here, which is going to grant you increased critical strike because Bone works really well with crits and it does really well with overpower. So it's critting and vulnerable, not overpower, sorry, but vulnerable. So it crits very often and a high amount because of the vulnerable state. So that's going to be really good here. We're going to put 1 point into Corpse Explosion just so that all the corpses that are hanging out are not hanging out there doing nothing. You can actually blow them up for some additional damage. And after that, we're going to dump 5 points into Bone Spear. So one of the big mistakes that a lot of people make is that they unlock new abilities, right? They go like, oh, cool, I just unlocked this, and then I can do this, and oh, cool, this. And then they go in their next part, and then they get Decrepify. And now they're sitting here and they're hitting mob with their main ability, and they're wondering why they're not doing any damage. Well, the reason is this is going to be your main damaging ability, right? This is where most of your damage is going to be coming from. So you want to make sure you dump as many points as you can very early on to make sure that you keep up with the game. Because the way the game works is that all the monster will scale every time you level. So every time you level, everything around you gets stronger. After you leveled, if you don't get new gear or you don't upgrade your spell, you're not going to do more damage. So the world is just going to keep feeling more and more difficult. And if you just keep going down the tree without pumping your main ability, then things are going to have a tough time dying, right? So I like to put 5 points as early as possible into Bone Spear. And I really like to put some point into Grim Harvest here. That allows every time my corpse explode to get a little bit of essence. And then we're going to get into Enhanced Corpse Explosion. And then we're going to get into Blighted Corpse Explosion here. Then we're going to put 2 point into Death's Embrace. This is going to give you're going to be in melee range all the time, except when you're fighting bosses. But in most cases, until you get Golem, everything is going to be just close to you because everything is just going to be close to you because nothing else is going to tank for you. So everything is going to run to you. So they're going to do less damage. You're going to do more damage. It's going to be a pretty good thing. And then I like to finish Grim Harvest That way, the more corpse explosion I do, the more essence I get. I don't have to cast Bone Splinter as much, because Bone Splinter is good. You get crit, but corpse explosion is really, really good. So you want that shadow pull everywhere, all over the place. It's just going to do more damage. You can go with this one as well if you want, but this one just does a lot of damage, especially for stagnant boss and unit. It's going to be really, really good here. And then I'm going to put 1 point in Serration here, just to get that additional crit rolling already. So that's going to be pretty nice. So every time if you have more essence, you get more critical strike. It's pretty much free crit for now. We're going to start putting point in here. Why not? And then I like to put 1 point in Hewed Flesh as well. This is going to allow you to randomly generate corpses on bosses, so yet you can get a couple of corpse explosion off. So that's a little nice point to put in here. And then we're going to go into our curses. So with this build, I go with Decrepify, and then I get Enhanced Decrepify, and I get Abhorrent Decrepify. And this is because the next point you're going to do is start leveling Bone Storm. And this is going to be really, really good because you're going to be using the Golem and Bone Storm, and that's going to duplicate your Bone Storm on your Golem and yourself. That's going to be really good. And this one here allows you to get cooldown reduction, which is really, really nice. But if you're at this point in the game and you're trying to clear dungeon and open space, and you're feeling like you're way too squishy and all the monsters are just wrecking you all the time, your health is going down and you're gobbling potion as much as you can, and your health isn't, that happened to me a couple of times, right? That does happen, especially until you get like a little bit more damage and you get like your all of your toolkit and all your stuff. You can get overwhelmed sometimes, and then you'll take some damage, and then it feels bad. Another possibility is to go Iron Maiden. I kind of like this. Every time you kill something with Iron Maiden on it, you get 5% of your health back. So if you get a pack of like 10 monster, you're literally invincible. They can't kill you, because as long as you kill a couple of them every now and then, you just get massive amount of health back, and it's really nice. It also serves as a generator. So if you hit this at 0 essence on a large pack of monster, because of this talent here, of this skill point, you're going to generate massive amount of essences. So it's really, really good. But it's completely useless on boss, which is why I prefer to go with Decrepify. It slows them, they deal less damage, they get stunned as well, and you get cooldown reduction, which is really nice. Which is why right after we go Bone Storm, Prime Bone Storm, and Supreme Bone Storm. So this now gives you 15% damage reduction while Bone Storm is active, and it gives you Supreme Bone Storm, which gives you increased critical strike chance, which is really insane. 20% chance to crit when it's active, which is why we want to reduce its cooldown, right? After this, why not go for some free damage reduction? 18% minus 2, because you're going to have Golem, so 16% damage reduction. That's going to be really, really good. And then we're going to go for Rapid Ossification, which is going to give you even more damage reduction. So, sorry, not damage reduction, but cooldown reduction. So 3 more points in here. For every 100 essence, your cooldown gets reduced. So you're pretty much going to end up using this every 30 seconds, right? So every 30 seconds, for 10 seconds, you take less damage and have 20% crit. Sounds good to me. And then you're going to put 1 point in Evulsion just to increase a little bit your damage to vulnerable target. Why not? And as you put this point, you get Ossified. So Ossified is going to be your mastery, so make sure you pick that up as soon as possible. It's just going to make you do way more damage. So up to 50% more damage if you cast the Bone Spear at full essence. So you want to make sure that you pull as much essence as you can, deplete it with a cast, and then, don't spend your entire essence pool. Try to have it always topped off. That's going to help you out a lot, right? So Bone Spear, you can explode a couple corpse, get back to full Bone Spear again. It's going to be really, really good. It's going to give you a lot of damage. And then you can finish Evulsion here for some extra critical strike damage to vulnerable target. And then we're going to go for Memento Mori, which is going to increase the bonus that you get for sacrificing your Skeletal Warrior and Skeletal Mage while both of them are sacrificed, which we are going to sacrifice them. So that's going to be really good. That gives you additional crit and additional damage to vulnerable, if I remember. Then we're going to go for Compound Fracture. So we're going to put 3 point in Compound Fracture here. It's just going to give you more damage after you crit sometimes. That's going to be really, really good. And then we're going to finish with 2 points in Serration here, which is going to give you even more crit. We're going to finish off Death Embrace here with a 3 point right there. And then I'm going to put 3 points in Golem Mastery. I kind of want my Golem to stay there and stay alive. It's not really about the damage, but I just want him to stay. You don't have any means really to keep him alive too much because you don't You don't have any system to necessarily keep him from dying, and he's actually a really good damage mitigation for you because we're going to be using the Blood Golem. So having the extra health really good. There's a million other plays that would be better than this, but for leveling, I kind of like it. I like having the Golem be a reliable source of tanking. That's really, really good. We're going to go Death Reach, 3 points right after this. And then we're going to go Unliving Energy here, which is going to increase your max essence. And then you're going to go for Imperfectly Balance, 3 points in here as well, which is going to give you even more damage from your core skill. I take this late just so I can have enough generator and enough stuff going on to not get hurt by this too much. And then you can put one last point into Hewed Flesh. You could put this in any other place if you want. If you're generating it of corpse for your corpse explosion, feel free to put 3% damage every time your corpse explode. That's a free point, right? You can even move point from here to here. You can do whatever you want. At the end of the day, you can do whatever you want. I like having a little bit more corpse. It's nice to have the corpse explosion doing damage on the boss. I feel like 3% it's not that great. I kind of like having the extra corpse. It's kind of neat. It comes in handy, and that's going to be pretty much it for the build. There's a lot of things you can modify in here. Feel free to go and do whatever you want. If you want to put some points in Amplify Damage because you're going to be decrepifying instead of going for the extra Hewed Flesh, you know, like you could even do this. If you don't care too much about corpse explosion, feel free to modify that as well. This is all personal preference, but all of this stuff is just going to be for leveling. But then you're going to be able to transition from this build to a pure bone build, which is going to be really good. It's not going to use all the same skills. You're probably no longer going to use Golem. It depends which build that you go for, but you'll see things are going to change a little bit. But this is a pretty solid foundation. It's going to make you tanky, and it's going to make you do a lot of damage. So we're going to cover the minion. You're going to sacrifice your skirmisher here for extra crit chance, 5%, really, really good. Increase damage to vulnerable enemy, 15% free damage because everything is going to be vulnerable at all time. So really, really good. And then you're going to go for Blood Golem, 15% absorb damage. That's literally 15% damage reduction for you. So that's really, really, really good. The Blood Golem is amazing. Really, really awesome. And then it heals itself as well because it drains enemies' health. So that's really, really cool. So there we go. So you're going to go with this for your minion. And then we're going to cover the legendary aspect. So none of these are looted legendary. So that's going to be something I mention in every single build. All of these are aspect that you get from completing dungeons or completing a certain part of the campaign. So the build doesn't rely on any aspect or any legendary to drop for you because that would be not really that great. Because if you never drop it, which is very likely, you could not run the build effectively. So all of these are just situational. Some of them are really, really good. You're obviously going to want to go for, especially like the glove. Those are really, really good. That's 30% free damage on some of your Bone Spear. But we're going to go through all of them real quick. This one, I pick it for almost every class. Disobedience, it's just free armor. Really good damage mitigation. I like being tanky when I'm leveling. I don't like dying. It's a waste of time. Damaging an elite gives you a barrier. Amazing as well. You can get it in the first part of the game. Attacking an enemy with basic skill, increase the damage of your next core by 5 to 10%. So you're going to get the 5% version if you get it from the dungeon aspect. So you're going to do build. You get 30%. Boom, massive Bone Spear that you can get on the vulnerable target. So, and then it's just free damage that you get every now and then, right? So that's good. Every time you use Bone Splinter, you are going to take 20% less damage for a couple of seconds. So 2 seconds. But you're going to be using it quite often to generate. So it's just free damage reduction. Why not? This one here is going to make you clear crowd control effect when you get injured and give you unstoppable for 4 seconds every 40 seconds. So that's going to be really, really good because we don't run Blood Mist. So you have no way of getting out of CC. So this is going to be how you get out of CC. You can also get it in the first part of the game. So you want to make sure you go get this one so you don't get killed by those Revenant that stuns you. These are pretty much going to drain your life. It's going to trigger the unstoppable. You can move out potion. You're going to be safe and good to go. This one is one of the most important one. You get it in Dry Steps. This is really, really good. That's why it's going on the AMI. It's going to make you do massive amount of damage. So it's just going to make Bone Spear and Shard deal bonus damage to vulnerable target and pierce them. So this is kind of insane. This is really, 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 really insane. This is really good. You want to get this ASAP as well for your Bone Necromancer. This one here, critical strike with bone skill, increase your essence regen. This is just going to give you free essence regen. This is from the Black Asylum, which I think is part of a stronghold. So you're going to need to clear a stronghold for this one. You don't have to do these. It's just nice to have them. And this one is just literally free damage. So it can be up to 10% free damage if you have full resources, which you're going to try to do a lot because you have a passive that works this way as well. So you're probably going to have this for sure. Really pretty good. So these are some of the recommendations. Feel free to pick anything else. And as you can see, I don't have anything for the weapon. I'm going to repeat this in every guide. You probably don't want to aspect a weapon. The reason is you're going to want to upgrade your weapon very often. You're going to want to make sure that you have a rare weapon as high level as you can and even upgrade it. You want to make sure you do that as often as possible to make sure that you do the most damage, okay? If you aspect your weapon into a legendary, it's cool. You get some power on it, whoopee. But then 5 level later, you drop a better weapon and now you have to put the aspect on it and it's going to cost you a massive amount of gold. And then upgrading it also is going to cost a massive amount of gold because it's a legendary now. So that causes some issue over time. You're going to run out of gold if you keep doing this. So what I recommend that you do is that you keep the best rare weapon that you can find, keep upgrading it, keep finding new rare, and keep equipping the one with the highest damage and stats, and upgrade it. It's going to make such a massive difference over doing aspect legendary and running out of gold completely, because you're going to ruin yourself if you keep aspecting your weapon. The rest of the gear can lag behind 5-10 level. It doesn't matter. Your weapon, that's what matters. Talking about weapon, you're going to put an emerald on it if you have a socket. So critical strike damage to vulnerable enemy. Really, really, really good. That's just free damage when you crit. Max life on your armor. That's going to be really good. And on your jewelry, you're going to go for some armor, because as an intelligence class, you're gonna get some res, so your resistance should be pretty good. So you're gonna want to get some armor in there. That's gonna be really, really nice. For the gear, you're gonna be aiming for plus skill. That's gonna be really, really good. Anything that gives you plus skills to Bone Spear or Bone in general is gonna be massive. So make sure you look out for that. Massive damage increase. Look out for intellect. Look out for vitality. Life percent, all of that good stuff. Anything that makes you more tanky, all of that good stuff is going to be really, really good for you. Distant and close enemy damage, core damage, all of those affixes, you want to look out for those on the gear. That's going to be really, really, really good. So that's pretty much going to be it for the bone leveling guide here for the Necromancer. If you have any question or if there's any criticism, anything that you feel that I went over maybe too fast or I'm missing in the video, make sure you comment it down in the section below. Also, I would like to know, what is your first class that you plan on leveling in Diablo 4? Probably a Necromancer because you're watching a Necromancer video, but hey, that could be an alt. That could be a second class. You might be thinking and looking for other possibility. Make sure to let me know in the comment. I would really appreciate it if you have criticism or if you want to let me know what your first class that you're going to be leveling. Outside of that, make sure that you like the video. It helps tremendously. I know everybody says this all the time, but if it did help you and you would like to let me know, just drop a like. You can even subscribe to the channel. This game is going to be massive for me. I'm going to be playing this for years to come, and I'm going to be generating content for it, and I'm going to be having a blast on Twitch. I'm streaming on Twitch every single day, 7 days a week, starting at 11 a.m. EST. So Luxtos, twitch.tv/Luxtos, if you want to come hang out. We're going to be streaming the full launch of Diablo. We're going to have the support a streamer event for the mount. We're going to have the Twitch drop and all that good stuff, so make sure you come hang out. But until then, that's it for me today. That is it for me today. That was a really, really quick guide. It went faster than the other ones. So I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you in the comment section on Twitch or in the world of Sanctuary in Diablo 4. Bye-bye, everybody.